Now, starting with the cranial cavity. The cranial cavity is divided into anterior cranial fossa, middle cranial fossa, and posterior cranial fossa. The anterior cranial fossa is limited anteriorly by the frontal bone and posteriorly by the lesser wing of sphenoid. And the floor of the anterior cranial fossa it's formed by the orbital plate of frontal bone. This plate, it forms the roof of the orbital cavity and it separates the anterior cranial fossa from the orbit. See? And it's also formed by the cribriform blade of the ethmoid. Okay? And the cribriform blade of the ethmoid, it forms the roof of the nasal cavity and it separates the anterior cranial fossa from the nasal cavity. Now, damage to the cribriform blade can cause loss of smell sensation because the upper part of the nasal cavity is lined with olfactory epithelium, which has receptors for smell, and the nerve fibers arise from this area to pass through the cribriform blade, the holes in the cribriform blade. Okay, we can see here in the middle of the cribriform blade vertical bony projection. It is crista galli, and attached to crista galli the falx cerebri. Falx cerebri. The falx cerebri is a crescent-shaped double layer of dura lies between the two cerebri hemisphere and attached to the anterior of crista galli. Okay, and also I want to mention that if the damage to the cribriform plate associated with damage to the meninges, the CSF may leak out through this pathway out to the nose.